Yeah, what's going on, everybody, man? Welcome to the Black Cat Panther podcast, man. Your boys is in the building. Y'all already see what time it is. Look, D, how you feeling before we get into it, man? What's up with you? You alive over there, D? Got it going on, huh? Look, everybody, welcome on into the building. Come on in here. Your boy is in the building. Make sure y'all do us the illustrious favor and subscribe on your way in. There's a lot to talk about today. There's a lot that's on the mantle. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I can't wait to break this thing out. We're talking receivers. We're talking about the Panthers wideouts being among the best. And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of thing that we call the truth. Carolina Panthers, their receivers this season, last season, in this previous season, was among the league's best. And one particular receiving stat that I like to say was so beneficial to the Panthers, it made or break the season last year. And it's called the lovable separation. So without further ado, y'all make sure y'all come on in here, y'all comment, y'all like, subscribe. We got a lot to talk about. We're gonna talk about separation today. We're gonna talk a little bit about Ike Ekwonu and why he has been deemed the poster child of pointing fingers here in the Carolina area today. It's a bevy of things that we can get into today. First and foremost, D, how you doing today, man? You got a little bit of sound now?
Say that again, Q. I'm good. You say I got a little bit of what?
I said you got a little bit of sound now. You good?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. I don't know. My daughter was calling me as soon as you hit the live button, and it took my damn volume away. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How you doing? What's up, Q? How y'all
Man,
doing
oh
out there in the chat?
yes, sir. D'Angelo is in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. So, D, I wanted to talk to you for a minute while I got you because there's something interesting that a lot of Panther fans just didn't know. We led statistically amongst the league, and I'm gonna put this up on the screen for everybody to see.
Go
I
ahead
want
and
you to
do
be
it,
able to
Q.
see it.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
Statistically, next gen stats from the NFL. And I'm going to zoom in on this a whole lot because I want to make sure I showcase this. This statistical category is called separation. And as you see, the second tier right here that we have, as you see, it's called separation right here from the regular season last year. You got guys that we deemed the best of the best. You see guys like CeeDee Lamb had a 2.7, and I'm gonna highlight that right there. He had a 2.7
Mm-hmm.
in separation. Puka Nakua, another dangerous receiver, had a 2.9. DJ Moore, a guy that we deemed that guy, special guy in the Carolinas. DJ Moore had a 2.7 in separation last year. Brandon
Mm-hmm.
Ayuk, another dominant weapon, had 2.9 in separation. I'm zooming in on that just so everybody can see it. Now, this is the number one thing that I'm getting to. The Carolina Panthers were made and broken on this word called separation last season. How you feeling about that, D? Before I even continue,
Well, Q. Hey. When you sit there and look at the numbers, you can't argue with the numbers. You can't argue with the stats. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So when you go and look at these numbers, hey, you got to ask yourself, okay, if we got receivers, in the league that are running, getting 2.7, 2.8, 2.9 per yards per reception, and then you look at your team and you got receivers basically putting up those same numbers. You got to ask yourself, what's the common denominator? You
mm,
got to ask yourself. So hey,
mm-hmm.
that's a
Now,
question that you
now,
got to ask yourself. Go
do
go
you
ahead.
deem Devontae Adams an elite receiver in this league right now?
Most definitely, he's still a top 10 receiver.
2.6. George Pickens. How do you deem him in this league as a wide receiver.
I deem him as a bona fide up and coming superstar.
2.3. 2.3 right there. Now be mindful, 2.3 and 2.6 is a big yard of difference when you're running routes, when you're running receiving, when you're trying to be a dominant guy in this league. Justin Jefferson, do you deem him a special specimen at the receiver position?
Arguably the best. Arguably.
2.7 is what he has. DK Metcalf. Do you think he's a damn good receiver?
That damn good receiver.
2.4. DeAndre Hopkins. What do you think about him?
Still a top 20 receiver at the age of 33, 34, however old he is.
Mm.
It ain't nothing but good
2.3.
receivers on this list I'm looking at, bro. Ain't nothing but bona fide cats on this damn list, bro.
Calvin
Everybody a
Ridley.
dude.
Calvin Ridley. 2.3 yards. He had 1,000 yards last season. So I just listed you Calvin Ridley, 2.3. DeAndre Hopkins, 2.3. Justin Jefferson, 2.7. DK Metcalf, 2.4. Hell, Chris Olave got 3 yards per step on a motherfucker. That's just how dynamic Chris Olave is. George Pickens, 2.3. Devontae Adams, 2.6. Michael Pittman, 2.9. I say all that to say, where does the Carolina Panther receivers that they claim did not get any separation last year go in this league? Now look right here. Adam Thielen, what does that say right there?
It's 2.9.
2.9.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Adam Thielen, old ass Adam Thielen that they always talk about. Look at this. Jordan Addison, is he a serviceable wide receiver in this league?
Very good number 2.
2.8 yards. He only had 1,000 yards last year. Now, I say that to say, okay, let's look at some of our receivers on this team right here. Deontay Johnson, who just came in from Pittsburgh. What do y'all see right there beside Deontay Johnson?
2.9.
2.9.
2.9.
Tank Dell, 2.9. I thought I would put that out there for a second. You know what's going to trip y'all out when I get to a particular name that everybody has thrown away? DJ Chalk. Now, I just listed DJ Chalk and some of the other guys. The DJ Chalk was on this team in Carolina last year. 2.3 is what he had. 2.3.
That was the same as George Pickens, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad you get the picture. I'm glad. So, in a nutshell, if the stats say that these guys are getting the same amount of separation, this is my favorite one. This is my favorite one right here. Jonathan Mingo, 2.8 yards on the steps that he has on these motherfuckers. Now, they said that this guy was a retard. They said that this guy could not run routes, and this guy doesn't have the ability to get open.
I agree with them.
What team he play for? What team Jonathan Mingo on? Is he on
Carolina Panthers? Carolina Panthers, sir. Carolina Panthers.
Oh shit, we got him. Damn.
You know what that screams to me? If that motherfucker learn how to run routes, he might have 4.2 yards per separation. He learn how to run fucking routes.
Hey, look, he's serviceable right now though, for real. He's serviceable.
Now, to anybody who's watching this, these are next gen stats from the NFL.com. Not anything made up by Q, not anything that was pieced or put together by somebody else. These are next gen stats from the NFL. Just saying. Now, I just went through your boy right there. Now, Juju Smith-Schuster, Allen Robinson, 2.6. I mean, a bevy of great receivers. Robert Woods, 2.6. Quentin Johnson, 2.4. DJ Chalk, like I said, 2.3. And the number one thing people kept telling me that our receivers did not get separation last year. Our guys were nowhere in the class of a Tank Dell, who was at 2.9. Mango just ran 2.8. If I'm understanding correctly, and I'm not the smartest person, but if the separation that they have here, the next gen stats say that these guys are on the same level with some of the best, the Justin Jeffersons, like you said, some of these guys you see right here, George Pickens, all these other guys, Deontay Johnson being one of the best of the best. If their numbers of separation are all on the same level, how come they said last year it wasn't so? How come they were tossed up under the bus? Can anybody help me out on this?
I mean, I'll tell you
Well,
what though, Q. I
obviously, there's
mean,
a lie being told somewhere.
Well, I'll be
There
damned. The
is a
goat is in the
lie
building.
being told somewhere. A lot of people don't like to hear that. And that's why you got to put it on display for them. Right there in front of their face, black and white people. There is a lie being told somewhere. And why do you tell lies? To cover up things. Hmm. What are we covering up as Carolina Panthers? Hmm. That's all I got to say. Hmm.
So
man,
I'm just
what you
putting
getting at,
this up.
Go? What you getting at?
Oh, go get that something.
Elaborate for us, man.
What are you hitting at, go?
Hey,
Elaborate with
hey,
me.
I just put it
I
out
want
there. You know what I'm saying. Hmm. There's a lie being told somewhere.
inquiring minds want to
Hmm.
know. Go. Inquiring minds want to know.
Look at this.
And
AJ
then
Brown.
cover something up. If there's a man, if a man, here where we play football, if there's a receiver and there's a thing called NFL Open, right? We've been saying that a lot during the season. Oh, he was
Mm-hmm.
NFL Open. You just drafted a guy that go up and get a 50-50 ball. What was it? One of the lowest Q, 2.3. So that's about 2.5 steps. Let's say a step and a
Mm-hmm.
half in front of a receiver or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Body separate. Hell, at the beginning of the year, they were telling us, MDJ, that you couldn't even put a ruler in between those guys, that they couldn't get separation. Now the next
Mm-hmm.
gen stats come out and say they were 2.5 steps sometimes ahead of some of these defenders. Come on, man.
But
It's a lie
go.
being told somewhere.
Go. Do you deem CeeDee Lamb at 1,700 yards last season the best of the best?
Him, Justin
He top
Jefferson,
five.
Tyreek Hill. You can
Yeah.
look at the numbers. You can look at the numbers.
Now,
Jamar Chase.
look at their
Jamar
separation right
Chase.
here. CeeDee Lamb had 2.7 yards of separation. Amon-Ra
How
St.
many yards?
Brown was out of this world with 3.2. Puka
How many
Nakua,
Amara have?
3.2.
3.2.
He was a bad
So
motherfucker
how many
last year.
That's a
yards
bad
he have
motherfucker.
last year? How many yards he had last year?
I
He
can
had
look
like
up his
14.
yards. Yeah,
It was like
1,500.
14. Yeah,
15.
about
CD
almost
had
1,500.
CD led the league at 17. St. Brown was come behind him at 15. And I
No,
think
no,
Jamar and
Tyreek led
Tyreek,
the
Tyreek,
league
Tyreek, Tyreek,
with
Tyreek,
18.
Tyreek, Tyreek,
18.
Tyreek, Tyreek had 18. CD had 17. And
Yeah.
Saint Amar had 15. You see what I'm saying? Then the top cats. Yards, separate everything, every statistical category. Them boys led. And our guys was right there in the same, some of the same category. Not the yards, of course, but they got the separation. That was a lie, man. They got the separation. I'm sorry to tell y'all.
Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
hear
I'm
you.
with you, bro.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. When you see the yards and the separation that these guys getting, it tells me and it alerts me that on the NFL level, if these guys are getting the same amount of separation, had they had any better QB play, their numbers will reflect some of the same type of numbers. Am I right or wrong on that?
You're
I ain't gonna say
absolutely
the
right.
same type of numbers, but they definitely would be a hell of a lot better. You know,
yeah, a lot better.
because
There you go.
they
Yeah, a
not the
lot better.
caliber of these receivers. But as far as the metrics, they was open enough. I'm gonna say that. But the numbers wouldn't equate it to some of them guys on that list for sure.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put it like this right here. And understand me when I say this. Carolina Panther fans have deemed all of our receivers everything except for stable receivers to come out here and uplift this franchise. And the numbers sit here and suggest otherwise. Now, if you were watching these numbers, what does that say to you as a fan watching these statistics?
First thing I'm gonna look at is quarterback play, and as far as scheme as well, quarterback play, scheme, just offensively. Somewhere you're inept, and that ain't necessarily the place that you're inept at as far as wide receiver separation. There's other factors into it. Like I said, the first thing I'm gonna think about is quarterback play.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you, MDJ. I'm gonna look at the quarterback play. Then you gotta look at the scheme that's been called. You gotta what situation they're being put in. Yeah, you gotta look at all that.
Man, shout out to Big Iron 55. That's our boy Andrew, man. What's going on with you? He said, our eyes told us the same thing, Goat. Yes, sir. That's a fact.
Show enough did. That's a fact. 100% fact. When you see
So,
the guys running down the field and you saying, throw the ball, somebody's not looking at that receiver, not scanning the whole field, don't see that receiver, bro. And then but other people will tell you he didn't have time, though, Q, to hit those guys. And those guys didn't get separation and, yada, 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 yada. Third,
well,
fourth, fifth.
Goat, I'm going to be real with you. When you hold on the ball, this is an NFL window. NFL windows close a lot faster, just like that in the blink of an eye. So if you hold on the ball and you miss your first read and you don't make your second read, by the time as you get around to trying to see who's open, everybody's already filled up. That's on the logistics of the quarterback and what he's seen on the field. That's not on the receivers. Now, I challenge anybody to come in here and tell me tonight, after watching what we got on here, like I said, Mike Evans, 2.4, Brandon Ayuk, 2.9 in the separation. Like I said, our very own guys are sitting here. Mango is sitting at 2.8 on separation. Adam Thielen, 2.9 on separation. You're looking at some of the best in the league are sitting at 2.8. Stephon Diggs right here in front of you, 2.8. Michael Pittman, 2.9. Devontae Adams, 2.6. George Pickens is at a 2.3. These guys are all getting open just like the guys that you are chanting and ranting and raving on posters about. It's not their fault that they are not receiving the ball, but they're wide open. Like we said, we saw week 3, Andy Dalton throw guys open. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I mean, they not wide open, but they definitely NFL open. So it come down to execution. It come down to execution.
That's what I was about to say, MDJ. It ain't the fact that they wide open. It's the fact that in the NFL, hell, if you got any type of daylight, goddamn it, that's open. And as a quarterback, you can't be afraid to throw the ball. You got to be able to fit that ball in tight windows. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have motherfuckers that's 5 and 6 yards, goddamn wide open like you had in college. You're not gonna have that shit. Very rarely you're gonna see a goddamn receiver running wide. Only time you see receivers running wide open in the NFL is when it was a goddamn busted coverage. If it ain't no busted coverage, a motherfucker is on is somewhere in the vicinity of that goddamn receiver.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Nick Tri-State. He said you also got to take into account the type of wide receiver. Some guys are route runners. Some guys are 50-50 jump ball guys. Yeah, I mean, that was the point of everything. A.J. Brown, 2.4. He's a 50-50 ball getter. DJ Moore, a yard after the catch guy. He is also from that same mold. 2.7 yards. Brandon Ayuk, speedy guy. 2.9. As fast as he is, he only getting a little bit more separation than DJ Moore. I'm just saying. You look at some of these numbers and it tells a story. Amari Cooper, 2.2. And you telling me our guys are getting more separation and open than Amari Cooper. Mango has more separation than Amari Cooper, but is not receiving the same amount of yardage or attempts than this young guy.
Hold up, Q. Look at this idiot right here on the screen. You can't even put something in black and white in front of him.
Oh, damn, Goat, my man say he just want a link. He want to see it for himself, man. Damn.
That is right there on the screen, man.
It's on the
You
screen,
can't even put
cuz.
something in black and white in front of him, MDJ. What you
Screenshot it.
what did
Screenshot
what
it.
did what did Q
Screenshot it and
do?
blow it up.
Q invented a website and put it up. Q, is that yours? Did you invent that
Look at
website?
it. Look at that. Look at that. See, it said
Hey,
next
man, the
gen
man asked a
stats
question, man.
NFL.
Shit.
That's an NFL logo. That's
Hey, the
an
man asked a
NFL
question,
logo.
man. There you go, Big Fish. You know,
Come on,
next
big
gen
fish.
stats
Come on, big.
NFL.com.
My God, big fish. Come on, man. That's the NFL logo up there, cuz. Come
Oh
on right there,
man.
big fish.
Look, shout out to them boys, Big Fish, all those
Okay.
guys. Nick,
Big
what's going on?
big
Two
fish.
fans in the stands. Yes, sir.
Big 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 fish said you put this
Wow.
goddamn PowerPoint
Wow.
together. Q, goddamn it, you put this goddamn PowerPoint together.
I told you I was gonna pull it
Wow.
up from next gen stats because I didn't want to hear no shit. I did not. But it's always like this because even with statistics, even when you put it up on the screen, they doubt everything you say. When you got the Declares Day, anybody can go right now to next gen stats under the NFL, look at receiving yards, 2023 from the season that we just had. And you can look at it. It's sitting right here. Nobody is playing with anything. So, like I said, when you look at it, I'm gonna say it again. CD Lamb, the league's leading receiver, had 2.7 yards worth of separation. Now, Puka Nakua, 2.9. AJ Brown, 2.4. DJ Moore, 2.7. Brandon Ayuk, 2.9. Once again, our guys, Adam Thielen is at 2.9. I'll go all the way down the screen because they'll say I made the list up. Because once again, it's not law until you see it for yourself. The Deontay Johnson sitting there with 2.9. I hope y'all see that. 2.9, Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, he
Yep.
Get a
on
good
our
look.
team, you know.
Get a good look. Now, I want to make sure you see this, and it's nothing that nobody did. DJ Chark had 2.3. Now, be mindful when you look at some of these receivers that you say, hey, they couldn't get open last year. Hey, separation. I couldn't see none of them get open. They couldn't do it. It wasn't there. Jonathan Mango, Carolina Panthers, 2.8. Not making this shit up. 2.8. So it sounds like to me the tools is there. It's about making sure you utilize the right tools in the tool shed because the goddamn skill sets is there.
Skill set was there. Skill set was there, man. Now. In time, then people say Frank this and that. The scheme might have not been there to fit the skill set or to fit the tools sometime. Or you was like, we can't do this, we can't do that because we didn't have the the proper people in place.
Go keep the
And then
same
y'all
energy.
already know.
Frank Wright trash, man. He want no good coach. He want no good coach, man. You do this shit all the time. Just say he trash, man. He won a good coach last year. Our offensive coordinator was shit. Frank Wright was shit, man. It's the truth.
Well,
It's the
well,
truth.
well, well, MDJ, all the stuff you had going on, and we don't know. And I'm just saying, you know, we already know a lot of position coaches' hands was tied. We already know his hands was tied as a head coach or whatever. I'm just trying to give people some, I guess, more excuses or try to give them some validity of what happened. We're a 2-15 team. If you
But
telling me that the tools were there, you just told me the tools was there. What happened then? What else happened?
but you
We got
you
to find
Mm.
a
you
reason
you
for
you
something to
you,
happen.
you allow you allowing the Bryce guys to have that same fucking excuse, man. You got to call a spade a
Well, that
spade.
they going to
The coaching
anyway.
staff,
They going to anyway though,
coaching staff
MDJ.
was shit,
They
man.
going to anyway.
Coaching
They've been
staff
doing
was
it
shit.
anyway.
Coaching staff was
They've been
shit. You
doing it
know.
anyway. They gonna say that anyway. They gonna say everything except for what it was. Because regardless of whatever that scheme was, what happened all week long, them boys should have went on that field and performed. You know what I'm saying? At the NFL level that they were getting paid for. And we didn't see it. A lot of games we seen some flashes here and there, but we didn't see it. We didn't see it all get put together. So I'm not playing the blame game. I'm not trying to play the blame game tonight, saying this guy ain't here. Get him up out of here. Whatever. I just want to say, is the problem fixed now? Going into 2024? That's another question. Is the problem fixed?
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Shout out to Jalen in the chat for bringing this to our attention in the Discord. This came from young brother Jalen putting the stats out there. So shout out to him for doing his freaking homework and bringing it to our attention. Oh yeah, it's time to talk and discuss some things, man. Not only are we sitting in a situation where we have some of the best receivers in the league when it comes to getting separation, we're on par and we're better than most guys even see or can recognize. So I want to hear them say this ain't right, or something's wrong with the numbers, or what's the excuse now? This can't be right. Look it up for yourself.
I mean, I feel like we definitely got the tools at receiver, you know, to do what the hell we need to do. We can evaluate the quarterback. Hey, to me, you can evaluate the quarterback last year. I mean, to me, a spade is a spade. If the coaching staff won't good, the quarterback won't good, man. Just say that. It ain't no need to say the receivers won't get open because we clearly see that ain't the case. It ain't no need to say that the line was shit because, okay, they had an off season. Well, that once again, I equate that to coaching and scheme. That's why I'm saying when you say Frank Wright was a decent coach, you get them guys that same excuse to throw back with that offensive line. No, the problem was coaching on that offensive line. That scheme did not fit the players that we had. It showed the year before, and it shows by what they going to now. So, you know, a step in the right direction, I think so. But as far as numbers-wise, we got NFL caliber receivers at the position right now ready to go on the damn team.
Because some people already, what you just said, MDJ, some people would come at you and say no. Because there's already been lists that come out, top 10, this, and that, and the Panthers ain't on none of them. Duos, trios. What do they have as listed, Q, since you got the computer up? 28, 20, 30 something or something like that?
You talking about overall?
Yeah, overall. So, and these are all the same guys except for Hayden Hurst, DJ Chalk. We still got Mango over here. We still got Adam Thielen over there. You added Leggett and you added DJ Johnson, who's right on that list at 2.8 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson, good wide receiver.
Yeah, so we still sitting in the bottom 25.
I'm looking now to get the exact numbers because they're going to
give
pass out if you don't give the exact goddamn number. Because you see the numbers right now on the screen. They can't lie and say, oh, that ain't the case.
we talking about like just overall as a team, or you talking about just like the wide receiver room?
I'm looking at the power rankings right now. Oh, you want the wide receiver room?
Wide receiver room.
Okay.
Power rankings, I know we was at like 26 or something like that. We moved up actually.
I think wide receiver room we around like 25, something like that.
Probably somewhere.
Probably
like
so, probably somewhere
bottom 25. Bottom 25. But what my thing is, MDJ, the only thing, like I said, I ain't blaming nobody tonight. I ain't talking no junk about nobody. I'm asking, if you're sitting there at bottom 25 and you're telling me that absent the tight end, absent you're supposed to be X wide receiver, that guy who was supposed to get behind everybody. And if you look at their numbers from last year, they got separation. You're supposed to get the best separator in there, still at the bottom 25. If these guys don't do no better, that's the core 4 or 5. What's the problem? What's the problem then? And where do we go to fix it? How do we fix it?
I mean, honestly, I mean, hell, you draft a receiver 2 years in a row. You go get one in free agency via trade. I mean, they done made a concerted effort, and you go spend the money on the offensive line. So to me, you can only look one fucking way. You hired, they say, an offensive mind, so you can only look one way, and we know what that is. I mean, it is what it is. It's pretty much put up a shut up time. How I see it.
So you got to go get a new one of them.
Hey, if it
What you telling
ain't,
me?
hey, look, man, if it ain't producing, throw that motherfucker out, man. Throw it on out. Throw it out. Go. You threw everything else out, right? Keep the same energy.
Yeah,
You threw everything else
Oh
out.
hell. You don't want to start that. You're
You
gonna
threw
piss
the
a lot
coach
of people
away.
off.
You threw the coach away.
Yep.
You threw the lineman away. You got rid of DJ Chalk. When he got some more guys, you drafted another receiver. Hey, look, hey, it's time. It's time. Let's put up a goal. You know what I'm saying?
Don't come out here since we're gonna talk about Icky, like you said. Don't come out here and tell me the left tackle caused 12 sacks again. So that was the problem. But the guys didn't get receiver and separation. And we already have proved that he had the 2.7 seconds that the coach came over here won't. He had about 2.9 in some cases, 3 seconds. So we already discontinued that.
Look, Goat, they're talking crazy already, Goat. He said, first of all, I got a whole math degree.
Hey man, hey look, man, ain't nobody question your math degree, man. I think the boys looking at your common sense, but you know, hey look, please come
I'm
over
gonna
here and
start
talk to
looking
your
at
boy.
that reading
Come
in a
talk
minute
to
if you
me. Come
can't see
talk
them
to me.
goddamn numbers, because them
Nah,
goddamn
hey,
numbers
look,
don't lie.
It don't matter if you
All
got
these numbers
goddamn
right there.
footprints,
Do we
goddamn
need
it.
to
You gotta
apply
have
them?
common sense too.
Do
yeah,
we need to
that's what I
apply
think
them
they
right
got in
there?
question.
The numbers is on the screen. You may need to apply them. We wasn't disputing your knowledge, your intellect, or anything. You said where you get the link at. That's next
Yeah.
gen stats, bro.
He said we using the stats in the wrong way.
Oh,
What? Well,
So
display them
goddamn it,
on the
come on.
screen.
Well, he need to come on here and
It ain't,
explain
it
to us
ain't,
how
it
the
ain't, it
hell
ain't, it ain't
the
even about the
fucking
stat, but
numbers the wrong way.
it's about the narrative. That's the narrative was they won't get in separation. So you can't say it ain't about the stat. It is exactly about the stat, bro.
the
That
It's
nigga
about
about
the
to
stat.
change the whole goddamn argument. You say we wasn't getting separation. I just show you a stat where we're getting separation among the league's best. We're right among the league's best. And you're telling me that that's not so. The stat don't lie. This next gen stats from the NFL.
it's just
I
like what
mean,
DJ said.
Hey,
D'Angelo
look,
said
that's
the
cool.
performance.
He could come with that. Don't give me no stats about
Don't.
no offensive line either. Then don't give me no offensive line
Yeah,
stats.
yeah,
Don't give
yeah.
me no time in the pocket. Don't give me none of that. If you could come up here and argue that, okay, let's see. We'll see it. But
once again, I put it out there, and you can see it clearly on the screen. Now, I just told you, I just showed you Mango was sitting at 2.8. Now, everybody shit on this boy. They say this boy ain't shit. Now, I'm going to go back to these numbers. A.J. Brown, as you can see it, 2.4 on separation. DJ Moore, 2.7. Brandon Ayuk, 2.9. Mike Evans, 2.4. Amari Cooper, 2.2. I'm just saying, take a look at some of the best in the league. 2.9. Adam Thielen is tied with Puka Nacua for numbers. 2.9 when it comes to separation. CeeDee Lamb, the league's best receiver, is at 2.7. Now help me understand when you guys say these guys aren't getting separation. The separation stat is sitting right there. NFL Next Gen Stats, and it says, boom, this guy is on the same par level as getting open as the rest of these guys. Now, please tell me that these stats are a liar. That's all I'm saying. Tell me that's a liar.
And that's crazy that you say Mari Cooper only had 2.2 and he's supposed to be one of the best wide runners in the goddamn league. That bitch still had over 1,000-yard receiving.
Oh, he said I'm using them in the wrong way. So nobody around here got sense but him. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I guess I'll drop the link because apparently we too
Yeah,
stupid to
you got
realize
to.
what
Throw
next
it up,
gen
big fish, and
stats are.
put up the class, put on a class, big fish. You big
Now,
fish, when you get here, big fish, you will have the floor. No interruption. Please teach us how to read this chart.
oh yeah, I'm
well,
here for
I'll
it.
be
But
damned.
like I said, bro, if you tell me don't give you no stats, don't you give me no stats about no other position on this field.
We talking
But you
about
got it.
separation and separation only because they said that's the number one thing we struggle with.
Separation.
And I just showed you in a complete statistical category where our guys rank among the best in the NFL in it. So please tell me that this is lying.
Yeah. And the only thing separation is separation only, big fish. But we not trying to cherry pick or nothing like that. But that's what the whole thing was about. Separation.
Yeah,
Please come up and show us how to read this chart. There he
yeah,
is.
yeah.
No, that ain't him. Let pop this
That's
thing.
Pop. What's up, Pop?
Yeah.
Pop,
What's up with y'all, man? What's up with y'all?
What's going on?
good.
What's
Big
good, bro?
Big Tuna, bring your ass.
King JP, what's going on? Well, damn, I just put him in.
What
I
up?
did that. I did that. My bad.
What up, y'all?
Okay, go ahead, put him in. Go ahead, put him in.
D'Angelo, the
What up, Pop?
legend,
What up, Pop? What
Go
up, Pop?
EJ.
What's the
Big
deal,
Tuna,
What's
Mr.
up,
bring your
already?
ass. Man, I'm ready to hear what
Well,
Big Tuna gonna say.
well, what's y'all thoughts, King JP and Pop until he get here? What's y'all thoughts on what y'all just see?
I'm gonna let them boys
What
go first. Hit
what
him
up,
with his
everybody,
report.
man?
What up? What up? What up?
What
What's going on?
up? Y'all can
Uh,
hear?
Okay,
yeah,
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 I
I
hear.
can hear.
yeah. So, all right. So, my opinion on this, I think that the only major problem with the situation with Mingo is really he was a rookie and execution. That's the main problem. Those are one of the two. Now, with that separation, with him being in the same category as some of these top tier wide receivers as far as 2.8, that tells you that Bryce Young must have had his timing off that we seen a lot in the year, a lot during the year, and was holding on the ball too long to get him when he was open. Because we all know college open and NFL open is two different things. So that's all
That's
I
a
gotta say.
fact.
For sure.
Hey, Q.
What's up,
Q
Andrew? What's
is
happening?
really. This is really. Hey, this is really easy to figure out. Go back and you pull that list up and look at all those star wide receivers such as CD Lamb and Puka Nakua who have less
Hmm.
separation than our guys. But look, throwing them the fucking football. Look who's throwing them the football. A good quarterback.
It's definitely a
A
way to
good
look at it,
quarterback
Andrew,
really
for
needs
sure.
that much
Yeah.
separation to find his receiver.
Well,
The problem
Andrew,
is
we
we
got
don't have
some.
a quarterback that can take advantage of 2.6 yards.
Well,
We got a quarterback
Andrew,
5 yards of separation.
we got a young fella that's gonna come up here in a while and tell us that we do got the quarterback that can do that. That's what he gonna probably
Well,
try to tell us.
well, the numbers don't bear that out, Q. If you go look at CeeDee Lamb, look at CeeDee Lamb, the best receiver in football. What's his separation? Well, the problem is you got Dak Prescott, who threw for damn near 5,000 yards, throwing him the football. You don't
Yeah,
need to say anymore.
yeah. You see that right there? 2.7.
Hey, let me take it one step further on Andrews, right? We got rid of DJ Moore, who's at 2.7, but Deontay and Thielen got more, and Mingo, technically.
I do, Nick.
That's funny, bro.
But
That's funny.
I had
Yeah.
to think earlier, Nick, and I was looking at the chart right here earlier today, right? And so you asked the question, why did Terrence Marshall um, and Mingo get the burn they should have got? What's the problem with that? You can clearly see they were getting separation, and when they were in the game, they were better.
And see that stuff like that go is stuff I equate to, that coach we had. I know some people like Frank Wright, but listen, man, last year he just didn't do a good job, man. just all around. And it ain't just Frank, Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown had to him for a while. So just offensively, man, they just was all out of whack. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I'd like to introduce Professor Big Fish.
Hello, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
What's
Uh,
going on?
Nothing much. I'm gonna keep it short and brief because I'm on the way somewhere. But so I guess I can explain it with the analogy because we're talking about average yards, and it's like I said, not the same as like separate, like how we view how the media, because the media was talking about mainly separation percentage, which a percentage is trying to think how to describe it.
Deontay's like top 5 if you go off percentage.
Yeah. So and now I guess I could do it with a. It's easier to explain with an analogy. So let's say I want to do a average speed in a car that me and Q. Let's say throughout the whole week I travel the speed limit. I go 65 to 60, right? But Q, let's say let's say he does the same speed I does throughout the whole week, but in one day on particular, let's say Friday, he goes to he goes to oh shit, he goes like 75 to 80 miles per hour, right? His average is going to be higher than mine, even if he just drives for one day in particular, like he changes his routine one day. So average percentage of yards, like average separation percentage, that is basically saying, okay, like a receiver who maybe touches the field one time, right? And let's say he gets 2 yards of separation, right? That is his average. His average will be 2 yards. Or let's say his average was 3. His average would be 3 yards, right?
Can
So
I say something? Can I say something?
it's not saying how many times you do it consistently. It's just saying it's just taking how your total snaps plus total snaps and your how many yards you separate by. So it's
Now
kind of it's a misleading
let
stat
me
in
say
that way.
something. Because
Right.
that's true. But at the end of the day, the numbers are still going to balance out. You know what I'm saying? It's still the numbers still going to tell the truth at the end of the day.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I'm saying? When
that's what
you
separation percentage is for. That's what that is for.
I get that, but it's still telling you a story. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's still not deceiving you. It's still telling you the story correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Regardless if
but
you
oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. But what?
You
Oh,
can't look at
I was just
percentage.
saying, like,
You can't look at
compare.
percentage. There has to be a benchmark. There has to be a benchmark as to what is considered a good percentage for separation, and there is none. That's why they're looking at it
Thank
in
you,
yards of
Andrew.
separation.
Thank you,
It really
Andrew.
does on
Right.
the type of wide receiver, like a guy like George Pickens, 2.3. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's relatively low, but for a guy like him, that's enough because he's one of those 50-50 ball getters. Mike Evans, 2.4. You know, I think that was where he was at, about
There's not
But
a
2.4.
what he's
better.
saying though,
He don't need a
though,
lot of
it's not
separation
a
to
out.
There it is,
Yeah, it's not an
2.4.
outlier. And say you can't say, oh well, the benchmark, like Andrew was saying, 1.5 um whatever separation, you know what I'm saying, steps or whatever between. It's not a benchmark. Hell, me myself just started looking at it this year when everybody was hollering they're not getting separation. They're not getting separation. We even asked the question of what is enough separation.
Well,
We
when you
asked that
break it,
around here.
when you break it down, when these guys are in full sprint, 2 yards is about a stride while they're in sprint. You know what I mean? While they're in full sprint. So basically, these guys are about a stride, maybe a stride and a half ahead of these guys when you're thinking 2.5 yards of separation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
anybody
you
say,
got
I mean, if
you
we
got
get
to also
hard,
determine when they're in full sprint.
But
So their legs
that's
are, you know what I mean? 2
NFL
yards
open
really
though.
ain't that much
And
when you
That's
really think
open
about
hey,
it.
though. That's
and
open.
also
That's
this
NFL open.
and
Yeah, one stride is open. That is technically open. That's
and
considered open
and
at
also
least.
and
can
also this
anybody say
because
hard?
the reason why someone like Justin Jefferson would have a similar percentage to someone like DJ Chark is not that DJ Chark was getting as open as Justin Jefferson. Is that Justin Jefferson has more snaps and has more snaps when he's double teamed or he's facing the best. He's facing the best corner. You know what I'm saying? Or the best
Exactly.
corner and the best
Exactly.
safety. Like I
They're
said, he gets
rolling
double teamed.
coverages
So you
over.
can't.
They roll coverages over to his
Yeah.
side
So
every play. Every play,
But
there's help on his side.
net, he's getting this. He's getting the same advantage as Bryce Young. Bryce Young doesn't have a different layout every game he plays. He's facing a good defense with good cornerbacks. That's what happens when you get up to the NFL level. Fuck that college shit. You know, 99% of college players won't even get to the NFL. Okay,
Right.
that's what causes this whether they can translate in the NFL or not.
Right. That's what separates the cream of the crop.
Exactly.
That's what
Bryce
separates.
Young was a brilliant college player. But now what happened? He got up into a league where there's all-stars at every position. Every player that got to the NFL is 100% of the players that made it from college, not the 1%. Okay, only 1%.
Right.
Actually, I'm wrong. It's 1.6% of total college players every year get to the NFL level. Okay, so you're going to go from 98.5 of players that don't get to the NFL, and then you go up into the NFL, and that's where your you know that's where it separates the good from the bad. You've got either you can cut it, you have the physical size and the physical attributes to make it in the NFL, or
That
you
that
don't.
that shit comes into play, and that's why I think some of Bryce Young apologists get it confused. Like just because you look great in college, that don't mean that shit gonna translate to the NFL. Look at Johnny Manziel. Johnny
That's a
Manziel
fact.
and Bryce Young. Johnny
Plenty of
Manziel and
guys,
Bryce
yeah.
Young kind of played the same way in college. And what happened when Johnny Manziel got his ass in the NFL? That shit did not
That's what I'm
translate
saying.
to the fucking
That's
NFL. That
why
shit
it's
don't work.
important what school. That's why it's important, Kendall, what school you go to, because Alabama has got a 5-star program. They're getting nothing but the cream of the crop. Okay, but when you get up into the NFL, you're getting the cream of the crop from all the schools.
Yeah.
Okay, that number threw me back, and I looked it up 3 times to make sure I was right. 1.6% of college players total make it to the NFL. Okay, so that means it's 98.2, whatever, or 4 aren't getting up there,
Yeah.
and that's
And
what
when you
separates. That's what
but think
makes.
about the program. Think about that program, Andrew. When you have 6 and 7, 10 players off of that one team, or
Yeah,
that one program leaving, and
yeah.
you said 1.6. So you got to. That's the cream of the crop.
Yeah,
And Alabama get the top level players out of that percentage too.
it
Yeah.
Where he
doesn't
was
mean
at.
you can't.
Every
It doesn't
every
mean you
year
can't be
about 6 to
successful,
8. Every
Kendall.
year,
What?
every year about 6 to 8 players from Alabama get
Yeah.
drafted. Every single year.
So that
Every
tell you,
year.
Nick. That
Yeah,
Yep.
tell you, Nick. Look at that. That's a stacked team.
Every year.
Andrew just said 1.6. So that's 2 players
Yeah.
basically off a team should be coming off a team. If
that's right.
Alabama's averaging about what you say 6, did you just say? That's a
Yeah,
Yep.
stacked team.
They get about 5,
Right,
6 players drafted every
and
year.
a lot of
Playing
and
with
what
best
people
you got. Yeah.
what people fail to realize too at Alabama, a lot of Alabama players get to the NFL and flame out because they get exposed because when you playing with a bunch of
You
great
playing on a
players,
good team. Yeah.
you gonna look
There's
great.
always going to
So
be a couple that flame out. Yeah,
they,
absolutely.
they always have players that flame out. That's why a lot of
Yeah.
times a lot
But
of
more
their
times than not,
secondary.
if you think about it, bro, some of the best players in the league at their position, they went to Alabama.
Yeah,
Patrick
I'm not. Yeah,
Surtain,
you
yeah.
know,
Patrick
No,
Surtain,
Kendall,
I'm not saying.
Patrick
Kendall,
I'm
Surtain,
not
and Minka
saying. I'm
you know,
not
Fitzpatrick are
saying
Kendall.
they don't have.
I used to
Yeah.
Oh,
come on this
listen.
podcast. I used to come on these podcasts, and I would talk about guys like Will Levis, how successful he would be, and it wasn't his college numbers that drove me to that. He's got the physical attributes to be something special in the league because he's
Right.
Exactly.
strong, he's fast, and he's got a huge arm. I'm not going to compare Will Levis's numbers to Bryce Young. That's crazy.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
Will Levis didn't have talent around him in Kentucky either. You got
Yeah,
to
that's
take
what I'm
that shit
At
saying.
into
all.
You
consideration.
got to look at the physical attributes. That's why Anthony Richardson's ceiling so high because he's got the whole package. Okay,
Right.
he's big, he's fast, he's strong, and he's got probably the best arm in the league right now. So it's easy to say this guy is probably going to make it, but you look at the guys that just come in off their numbers and they're playing for an Alabama or Ohio State. How many Ohio State quarterbacks never made it, but their numbers were phenomenal? There's a big separation going from college to the NFL. You guys know that.
Then you
Yeah.
go
Yeah, for
back,
sure.
Andrew.
You ain't telling no lies, Andrew. You 100% right.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody?
Then you go back and look at it
D.
too.
Milliner
What's going on with
stunk.
What's up, Be Good?
What's up? So what's up? Be good.
Talk about an
Yeah, I
Alabama
was
guy
gonna
who
say on
flamed
that
out.
evaluation. I mean, it's been several guys. Like, What was the guy name that went to Vanderbilt? Jay Cutler. I
Yeah.
remember he didn't
Yeah.
have the stats and stuff, but he had an arm talent. I think this was
Yeah.
the first time in history where we took, when a guy got drafted number 1, they took everything away from him You know what I mean? I'm talking about height, arm strength, and stuff like that. Uh, Usually when you have stuff like that, we won't, we'll say you're not going to be a great talent, but for some odd reason, everybody went away from the data, especially the owner, and just made up. I mean, I don't know what to explain. I mean, I told everybody he wasn't going to be that, but I mean, can y'all explain to me why? Like, you would choose a 5'9" quarterback with no arm and no elite traits. You know what I mean? Can y'all
Yeah.
explain how
That's
he's
Well,
going to
that's
here's
be
well
that's
such
here's
a
well
that's the
here's
great?
well
that's the
here's the
media
thing with
darling, bro.
Bryce in college. When you watch
That's the
Bryce
media
in
darling.
college, when you watch
That's the
Bryce
media
in
darling.
college, what he did well in college was when his offensive line did hold up and it gave him that extra 1 to 2 seconds where he can improvise and make a quick play. That's where Bryce was successful. And with Patrick Mahomes being the king of improvising, now that style of quarterback play is the new it. You know what I mean? The guy
But here's
who,
the but,
he could
but
drop
but
back and
here's the
then
thing.
1 2 seconds he could just make a
Hey, hold
quick, he
on,
could
cause
run out, improvise and
But
make a
Patrick
hold
throw. You
on,
know what
hold
I
Mahomes,
on,
mean?
hold
And
on,
that's where
bro.
Patrick
Bryce
Hold
did
on, cause
Mahomes,
well at
I'm
Patrick
about to
Alabama.
jump
Mahomes.
off.
He
I'm about to
did.
jump off.
Oh,
We,
y'all
I
got
was
to
about to
let him
jump
everybody,
off.
land.
does everybody know who else
Wait,
was the king of improvised football in college?
Say what?
You said what?
Shoot.
Does everybody know who else was the king of improvising football in college?
In
Yeah, Tim
college,
Man,
Tebow.
Johnny Manziel
Tim
used to play
Tebow was
there.
Johnny
one.
Manziel, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Exactly.
Johnny Manziel. I said
Exactly.
Johnny Manziel and Bryce Young played the same kind of way when you look at the gameplay in college. They had the same style. But
No,
when you
I
don't have
mean,
any but when you don't have any elite traits, that shit ain't gonna work in the NFL. Johnny Manziel didn't have a strong arm. Johnny Manziel wasn't fast. He could run in college, but he wasn't really fast. Just like Bryce Young could run in college, but he's not fast. You know, I mean, once you step up a level, that shit change. You can't do it. You can't play the same type of goddamn way you played in college. Even if you is
hey,
fast, you know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah.
to
but
change your
can I say
gameplay
this?
up.
I mean, bro, but if you look at all the stats and stuff like that, bro, he took like 44 sacks and stuff like that in college. You know what I mean? All the numbers showed he wasn't gonna be good. So, you know what I mean? When you got data and stuff like that, what in their mind made him feel, oh, he's gonna be great? You know, when it came to CJ Stroud, AR, they be like, oh, it ain't no choosing. It's
Be
like
good.
1A, 1B. You remember
Be
they was
good.
saying stuff like
David
that.
Tepper got sold a bill of goods. That's how it happened. He
Right,
got sold.
right.
exactly, exactly.
The
He got.
media, the
They
media, the
no, but I'm
media,
just saying the
the
media,
media,
like, look at it.
the media hyped him up. The media
Yeah.
hyped him up and fell for
Yeah, he
it.
sure
Yeah,
did.
If he
I was
didn't
gonna
go one,
ask
he was
y'all,
he was gonna go top five regardless. I mean, as
but
much as we talking shit about the boy was gonna go top five. If we didn't take him, one of the other 5 teams was gonna take the boy.
I
we
wanted
gonna
to
But the
take
ask
thing
y'all
about
because
it,
I'm jumping off right now.
thing about
Like,
the
out of
thing
all the
about it,
quarterbacks that's been drafted and stuff like that, is this the first time in history where they, you know what I'm saying, they went against all the norms? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the league, like, if you're short, you're supposed to be fast, lead on.
when it comes to a number on or number one overall pick, I would say so.
I think it is.
Yeah, when
Okay,
it comes to
because
number
I
one
can't
overall pick, I
remember.
would say
Well,
so.
well, be good. They starting to say now prototypical size don't even exist anymore because of this right here.
Yeah,
You
yeah, it
hearing them
do.
saying this shit now?
Yeah, yeah, it do.
I
You
heard
best
that a couple
believe.
of times, but
Well,
I believe the
what
quarterback
makes
got to be
this
at least
worse?
if
six
if
Listen,
two.
if if, if,
what
if
you
Bryce don't
guys?
pan out, if
What
Bryce
makes
don't
this?
pan out, I can promise you there'll never be another 5'10" quarterback with no elite traits get drafted
Yeah.
in the
What
first
makes
round
this
again.
worse, you guys, is not that we drafted him number one. It's what did we give up to get that number one? That's
Right,
what
That's
makes
right,
true,
it
and
so.
Andrew.
that's what makes
That's true, Andrew.
it even worse. You're right, Andrew. That's what makes the situation even worse.
Yeah.
The dumbest thing is it's like, for what our franchise has been lacking, why were we the first one to take the damn risk? Put our hand out there to see if the damn stove hot. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
And
Yeah,
clearly
right.
the
because
shit ain't.
you were thirsty. You were desperate.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Your back was
for
against
yeah.
the
sure.
wall.
Fact,
Sure.
Kendall. Fact.
You went a while without food, so you had to sit out there and try to figure out how to cook some shit up.
Starving. Goddamn it,
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
starving.
You were hungry. Hungry.
We
You were
Y'all
hungry
get where
and
I'm
you
coming
were
from, right?
Starving.
it ain't good.
Like that.
Goddamn.
Yeah, I like y'all get where I'm coming
He
from. The
thought
dude took
he
a
thought
whole
he was
lot of
gonna
Yeah, he
snaps
have
in
did.
college.
yeah. He thought he was gonna have a star, a billboard, somebody put on side of that building. That's what Tampa thought he was getting. This big
Yeah,
time name.
but you,
He was a
Well,
but
he
name.
y'all
went
Don't
with
get
get me
the
what I'm
wrong.
saying though,
safest.
right?
Yeah, yeah, we got you, be good. He
Okay.
went with
Well,
the
I
safest
was about.
guy. Hmm?
No, I was saying I was about to jump off. I was just wondering. about that. That's been on my mind. But hey, shout out to y'all. I'll be
Yes,
listening.
sir. All right. See, go. He went with the
All right,
safest
big dog.
product in college football the last couple of years. Won a
Yeah.
Heisman, and he was contended with Alabama every year for the college championships, even though they didn't make it. But he was still, a contender. So he went with the safest name that he knew best to put asses in the seats because he knew that Alabama fan base is going to follow Bryce Young right on over here. So it was all about money and trying to get this shit together.
Hey, look what my man said in the chat. I say this shit all the time. Like I be trying to go like we the Panthers. We just don't do shit right. It's expected damn near. It's as bad as that is to say. Like we
But
we don't do shit right.
MDJ, I asked you the other day, Friday, when we was talking, when are we going to stop MDJ? When are we going to stop? You just can't keep using, we don't do that right because we the Panthers and we going to figure it out. When are we going to get it together?
I mean,
When?
that's you asking a question that I physically can't give you no answer to. I mean, you know that. I mean, shit, whatever the fuck we get a coach is worth a fuck. Whenever the owner sit his ass down, I don't know when that's gonna be, man.
Nah,
But
they gonna get
it's
it
the truth
together.
though. It's the
I
truth
think we
though.
got to coach it. I
They
think we do got
yeah
it. Regardless of what y'all feel about him, I think we got a coach that's gonna get the shit right.
yeah.
I do.
I believe so too, gentlemen. We're gonna draft. We're gonna fail this year. We're gonna draft the defensive end from Tennessee next
Yeah,
year,
there you go.
and then
And
the
I've
year
been
There
after
you
saying the
go.
that,
same,
James Pierce Jr.
Leo.
Yes,
I've been
sir.
saying the same thing, Leo. We gonna take
yeah,
that damn DM from James Pierce
yeah,
Jr. from
yeah,
Yes, sir.
next year,
And
and
that's what we
then
and
got to
and
goddamn,
you
do.
right, and
and
then
then
but and
we'll get a quarterback.
yeah, in
Number 20.
26 we're
Yes,
gonna draft the
sir.
quarterback.
There we
We're
There
gonna
go.
you go.
draft the quarterback from
Yep.
UCLA in 26, and we're gonna be on the right track. We just gotta build. It'll take some time. It ain't gonna happen next year. It's unfortunate, but they made a mistake. But you live
Especially
and
like
learn.
you got it all
Understand it.
planned out, Leo, but
Oh
it,
yeah,
2026
yeah. I'm
March
looking at
1st.
the
you know what I'm
future, bro.
saying?
Leo
Yeah.
likes that
Hey,
quarterback out of
but hold on,
UCLA.
Hey, I'm
Go.
telling Andrew, that
Ain't that what
dude,
I told you? Ain't that what I've
that
been
dude is
telling you? Go.
good, man.
Go.
And
Ain't
and,
that
um,
what I've
and
been
I
telling
mean, you never know. Miami quarterback, Cam Ward might go over there and shine next. I mean, you never know. But the defensive end from Tennessee, that's the best player in college football right now, man.
you?
Yeah,
Go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ain't that what I've been telling you? Go. Ain't that what I've been telling you?
But
But go ahead.
UCLA
Yeah,
quarterback,
yeah,
I'm
I think
telling
you got
you,
it, but
that dude is serious, man.
Who's that other quarterback I
I
heard
mean,
you talking about, Leo? I think he played for Nebraska.
Yeah,
Who is-
Nebraska quarterback. He a freshman, but he gonna dominate. He gonna have a better year than Colorado quarterback, hands down. Um, man, I forgot his name that quick, but his
Yeah,
father went to Nebraska.
I saw film on him, man. He's a good quarterback.
Andrew, he ready to go. He's 6'3". He wear number 15 for a reason. I ain't saying number 15, but he's talented and he's only a freshman. He gonna have more passing yards. They're gonna beat Colorado. He gonna have a better year than Shador Sanders
What you
as a
saying, Leo?
freshman.
He told.
There ain't
What you
no
saying?
You talking
Tommy
about
franchise
Frazier?
Casey
quarterback
You
Thompson?
talking
coming in this draft.
He talking about Tommy
about the
Frazier?
national starter from last year?
No, sir. No, Google it. They got a quarterback. They got the best quarterback coming out of high school this year. He was supposed to go to another school, but his father went to Nebraska. So Matt Rule got him over there. I forgot his name. Damn, Google it
Well,
though. I
Leo,
forgot his name.
He won't be available to 27 then if he a freshman
No,
next year.
no. I'm just talking about him, like far as his
You
playing this
talking
year.
about Dylan
No.
Raiola?
Yeah, Dylan Raiola. Yeah, go look at this
Dylan
dude. He's a
Raiola.
Oh,
serious.
okay,
He's a
okay,
serious player. Yeah.
Okay, I
What
know
are
you
you
talking
what are
about.
you basing this on though? Like what do you think he makes sense?
Watch him. Just go watch him play in practice. Watch him play.
Have you
No,
seen him
but
play?
but but the quarterback from UCLA though, he gonna be available the year after next. So because next year quarterback class, like I said, the best prospect probably is Cam Ward, possibly. But it depends on what he do. But we gonna draft that dude from. We're not drafting no quarterback. We're gonna draft that dude from Tennessee when we get the
I
number
Are
agree.
you
one pick.
talking about? Are you talking
I
about
agree with you, Leo.
Ethan Garbers?
I don't think we're
Ethan,
gonna take a quarterback regardless
Leo,
of what our record is next year. We're not taking a quarterback. That's why I said I've been saying the same thing. We're gonna take that DM from Tennessee
Not
and
first round, brother, but not first round. But we gonna have to take a
Leo,
quarterback. Yes, sir.
are you talking
well,
about?
not yet.
hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. If this offense does not move, if this offense is lackluster, you gonna have to.
Nah, Kendall, the quarterbacks next year, they not ready,
I'm telling
Kendall.
you,
They not first round pick, Kendall.
I
Hey,
don't think
Leo.
so either. And that's why I say I think we'll sign a free agent quarterback, a bridge quarterback, and then
Leo,
we'll wait till
I
Yeah,
want to ask.
Andrew.
Let me ask Leo a question. Leo,
25 or whatever.
are you talking about that quarterback Ethan
God damn,
Garbers
boy,
from
on the
UCLA?
Yeah, the dude who started this year. Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan Garbers. Oh man, that dude's gonna be good, Leo.
That dude is ready to go, man. That dude
Yeah,
is ready to go, man.
what a
Everyone's
gun.
sleeping on Dylan Gabriel, dude.
Dylan
Everyone's sleeping
Gabriel
on
too
Dylan
small.
Gabriel. Right?
Dylan Gabriel's all right. He a little old in the tooth, but he got a dude behind him that if he better play good because the dude behind him who transferred from what's that dude transferred from school from? I forgot. No. I'm sorry. No. Andrew. He went to he transferred to Oregon. I'm sorry. The dude from UCLA he transferred to Oregon. So Dylan Gabriel better play because if not, that dude gonna beat him out.
Dylan
The dude.
Gabriel's in Oklahoma, right?
No, Dylan Gabriel went to Oregon. He transferred to Oregon because he
Oh
got
no
beat out
shit.
by a guy named last name Jackson. Jackson was the backup to Michael Penix.
Yeah. I mean, but if
So
you
yeah,
ask a lot of people, Bo Nix transferred 3 times in college? What was it? People
but
quarterbacks transfer a lot.
Dylan Gabriel's barely 5'10". He's a little undersized. And he's a little older,
He
but
got a
you never
crazier
know.
arm than Bryce. His arm is way more live than Bryce.
Hey, look, let me
His
bring it
arm
down.
is
Let
live.
me bring it down real quick now. Now, Goat just got through saying we got Bryce because we quarterback thirsty. Y'all sound like some thirsty motherfuckers, man. Y'all just named like 8
No, brother.
quarterbacks in a matter of
No.
2
I
minutes.
didn't name
Like,
8. I didn't name 8. I named one quarterback that we possibly can get. No, 2. Cam Ward next year, or in the second round. We're not taking the first round. He might be a first round talent. If he throw for 4,000 yards this year, Miami have a good record. He go in the first round, but we can't take him in the first round because he's not, elite to me. The elite quarterbacks come in 26. So the elite player that we're gonna probably draft if we have a pick, which is very, possible, is the defensive end from Tennessee. Now I'm not just throwing out quarterback names, but we're gonna have to get a quarterback because Bryce not gonna be it though.
nah, taking the best player next year
Leo,
definitely is smart than just going to get a QB to get one. But
right.
it's just
Yeah.
obvious. What I was saying was it's just like always been around here, man. We still quarterback fucking hunting.
I got it, Leo. You're talking about Dante Moore.
Yeah, Dante Moore. Yeah, he transferred to Oregon.
Yeah, he just transferred. Yeah,
he transferred to Oregon.
man.
That dude is good, man.
This is the reason. If you study draft, and you took 6 in the first round this year, damn near unprecedented, right? You don't have a lot of quarterback hungry teams going into the draft this year. They need other guys, tackles, edge rushers, cornerbacks, what have you. You see, and you see what Leo, what you doing? You just discontinuing the quarterbacks that are out there that we possibly could get top of the damn second or something
No, I
like that.
said Cam
There's
Ward.
still gonna be good quarterbacks
No, I'm talking
out
about
there.
next year. Cam Ward is possible, but he might have a good year. But after him, Kendall, it drop off precipitously. Jalen Milroe, if he improve his passing, but he's a second or
That's
third
another
round
one.
pick.
Yeah, that's
But other
another.
than
He
that,
goes off
Carson
this
Beck.
year.
Nothing to do with
If
Jalen
Jalen
Milrow. I don't
Milroe
want
goes
anything to do
off
with
this year,
Jalen
his
Milrow.
draft stock is gonna
Well,
skyrocket.
Yeah, but y'all
Yeah,
told us that
once he hit
same
that,
thing this
once he hit
year.
that
Y'all
combine, his shit
said
gonna
that
go up.
Penix and all them boys and Bo Nix and none of them were going
exactly.
the first round. That we wasn't going to see
All
6
of them went the first
quarterbacks.
round.
And what happened? We saw all them guys fly off the radar in the top 15 picks.
They did. They sure did.
Oh, Bo Nix gonna be trash. Don't worry about it. He ain't gonna
I'm
be shit.
trying to tell
Bo Nix.
people.
Bo Nix is an
That
NFL
boy got
quarterback.
Troy Franklin and them
But why
boys,
is he?
Sean Payton. Come on, cuz.
Bo Nix is an NFL quarterback. He gonna
Bo
surprise a lot
Nix
of
is in
people,
a
man.
division with
We'll definitely be
tough
watching.
defenses.
We'll definitely be
He got
watching.
to deal with
Keep an eye
Kansas
on.
City twice. He got to deal with Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby twice, and then you got to deal with Jim Harbaugh's defense. That Chargers
Nick,
defense is going to
The
be very
Chargers ain't got
good.
no
Nick,
defense.
Bo
Hey,
Nix is going
Nick,
to be
Nick,
trash.
he gonna be
Nick. Let me
garbage.
ask you something. Let me ask you something, Nick.
Plus the AFC
What
tough
was
anyway.
Broncos? Was the Broncos not a game away from going to the playoffs last year?
I mean, they caught a hot streak. They started the season 0-4, 0-3, 0-4, and they were pretty competitive toward the end of the season
Now,
for sure.
had the coach not come to Russell and say take a pay cut with the last 2 games of the season with them contending, They benched the guy. You're talking about a team that could have been a playoff contender already. And you went and you say, okay, let me break this down to the way that I really want it. Sean Payton did this. Let me get the receivers. Let me get the quarterback I need. Let me get this other quarterback the fuck up out of here because he don't want to take no pay cut. They built this team right back the way he wanted. And think about it. They were almost a playoff team last year. So if you take that and build upon that, they got better. They got way better.
But then they didn't because they got Bo
system.
Nix. They're gonna find out real quick that Bo Nix ain't shit.
It's just a
Yeah,
lot of
Hey,
but
Bo
they said
Nix
the
haters.
same thing. They said the
What
same
I
thing
hear.
about Tom
Still a
Brady. They said
rookie
the
in the
same thing
AFC.
about a whole bunch of quarterbacks that got drafted
Please,
late. So we're gonna
first and
see.
last time you put Bo Nix and Tom Brady in the same
Sean,
sentence.
look,
But he's
Sean
small too,
Payton.
Leo. Why you
Sean
like Bo
Payton
Nix though? He's small
realized
too.
in
Bo
the
Nix,
AFC he
Bo Nix
needs a
is talented,
quarterback
man.
that could
Bo Nix is
contend
6'1" or 6'2".
with the
He's not
same
small.
guys y'all talking about. He needs a quarterback that he can to contend with. And he did just that. He went out and got a guy that he saw fit that can run his offense the way he want to.
Yeah,
But
running the offense. It ain't about doing all the tricks and all
It's
that.
yeah,
it's all to be
See,
seen, man.
that's
But
what
but sometimes y'all go extreme.
yeah.
Like all these quarterbacks not gonna hit, man. It's yet to be
Facts,
seen.
facts,
But
and
they
more
all not
times
just
than
gonna
not,
hit, bro.
more
We
90% of
we
the
know
time,
that
rookie quarterbacks
but
struggle.
if you fall in the right in the right system, you got to be in the right system, right place. Y'all talk about a Brock Purdy all the time with the cast of characters that they
Brock
have
Purdy
on
is
the
good
field.
though,
Facts.
Kendall. Brock Purdy has
No,
Yeah,
he
arm
but
not,
talent.
bro.
I understand that
No, he
though,
not,
Leo.
bro. Put him in
But
Carolina,
you
he's gonna be
cannot
ass.
discredit
Lord
that
have
team
mercy.
over there in San Francisco. You can't discredit that. You
So
Yeah,
can't.
I'm
what
not
type of
doing that.
struggling are
I'm
y'all
not
talking
doing that.
about? Are
I'm
y'all
not
talking
doing that.
about 2-15 struggling? Like we just saw what the number one guy that was supposed to be the guy? Or are we talking about 2 games like AR won? Are we talking CJ Stroud winning 10 games? Like what kind of struggle is y'all talking about these rookies going to potentially do?
I mean,
More
it's a
time,
rookie quarterback. Historically, they struggle. I mean,
yeah,
what I'm saying is
absolutely.
they not gonna hit the ground running. Yeah, sometimes I feel like we get carried away thinking they're just gonna make an instant impact. I'm not saying they're not gonna be good, but quarterbacks don't just come in the league and light the shit on fire. It don't happen often at all. It really don't.
No, it
And if
doesn't.
it like now think about it, you got Jalen Daniels at Washington. He's in a great situation with Quinn over there. Not to come out and be some type of Superman, but to come out and run the offense with that elite defense, they have a chance to be in games. Now, you take a look at Bo Nix. Bo Nix running Sean Payton's system with all those bevy of weapons that they have at receiver, bringing Troy Franklin on over, revamping this offensive line, getting that defense together. They have a chance to come out and be competitive. You're looking
Mhm.
at some of these young guys, Michael Penix Jr. right now. If you let him start with Atlanta, goddammit, you got them boys about to scratch the playoffs already.
Nah, Michael
Now,
Penix would struggle.
All them quarterbacks not gonna do all that. Q. That's
oh,
all I'm
okay,
saying.
Michael
all
Penix would
right.
struggle this
With
first
the
year.
way
They not
that
all.
team is built right now, he don't have to come out and do much. And I think y'all failing to realize when you have a team. Look at Sanchez his first year. He was shit, but he didn't have to do much. You get what I'm saying? He didn't
Yeah.
have to
But see,
do much.
that's what I equate the quarterback struggling though. It ain't necessarily about the team. It's about just literally the quarterback play. But I see where you're going. It's just all of them not gonna come out here and light the shit up. I'm not saying they're not gonna win no games because of other factors, but they not all gonna light the shit up. Man,
Okay,
you
so
didn't
what
name
about your
every
boy
first round.
Caleb? What about your boy Caleb?
I mean, just my personal opinion. I think Caleb gonna be fine. He's in a good situation.
Hell
Let's
yeah,
So
he's in a
why is it
great
he gonna be
situation.
fine, but
let
Jalen
everybody else
Daniels,
say.
Bo
But what
Nix?
I'm
Yeah.
saying, you
Because
can go to
the
any draft.
talent, look at the talent he has
All of them
around
do
him.
not hit like that. I don't care what draft you go to. You
Hold
go to
hold
last year's
on, real
draft,
quick.
any draft. No,
Real
all them
quick,
quarterbacks don't work out.
look at the talent around Caleb Williams. Okay, yeah, Terry McLaurin's a solid receiver, no doubt about it. You're talking about Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze,
old
Cole
rookie.
Komet, Gerald Everett, DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert. DJ Moore isn't old, bro, and neither is Roma
No,
Dunze.
I
No, he
said
said
you see
Keenan Allen. That's
Keenan
what he
Allen
was talking
old.
about.
Keenan Allen
But
old.
Keenan Allen's still an
he
effective receiver just because he's old.
just
He's a
He
number
old.
let it
two.
groom wrong.
He's old.
Next year he'll be
Oh,
gone. It'll be Rome
come on.
The
stepping up.
King,
Keenan
He'll
Allen's
be
still
gone
gonna
it'd
he
next
be
gonna
year.
go to Chicago and still catch 90 catches this year, Leo.
So
Easy.
let me ask you a
Oh,
question,
okay.
Nick.
At
Let me ask
least
you a
Easy.
60,
question.
60, 70, at
Let me ask
least.
you a
At
question,
least.
Nick. Let me ask you a question.
What
So
up?
last year's Bears team and last year's Denver team, they play each other. Who wins?
Oh, Chicago.
Last year's team.
They
Chicago.
played last year.
They played
played
early in
last
the
year.
season. Hold on, but Chicago.
Justin Fields
Hold on.
fumbled the ball. They lost the game. They played
Hold on,
last year.
hold on. But
It
you have
ain't
to
no what
understand
if.
something. Hold on, brother. Hold
That's
on, real
what I'm saying.
quick. You have to understand something. Chicago was a completely different team after they traded for Montez Sweat. When they got Montez Sweat, they turned into one of the best defenses in the last 6-7 weeks of the season last year. It's a fact. Look it up. They were a completely different team after they traded for Montez Sweat. Now, after they played Denver before they got Montez Sweat, they lost after they had a pretty big lead, if I'm not mistaken. They were up like 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They blew it. But if you're talking Chicago, week 14, week 15, Chicago, they waxed Denver.
Listen, Nick, if Chicago can't win with a veteran like Justin Fields, they're not going to win with a rookie like Caleb. They're not going to do it. It'll take a year. It's going to take a year or two before Caleb shows out. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
He'll get there, but it ain't going to happen his rookie year.
He may not pop off right away.
They got faith in Caleb and Caleb Williams.
Team I would not want to see by
I live out
November,
here on the
bro.
West Coast. I've been to too many USC games. He's going to struggle at first. Take my word for it. But he'll get there. But he's going to struggle at first.
Yeah, Caleb has a lot of talent. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's going to be a great one. But
yeah, Caleb
right
has a lot of talent.
I don't see it. But I may be wrong, but I just don't see it right out the gate.
Yeah, Caleb.
Yeah, their team I would not want to see around November, bro. Around week 10, week 11, I would not want to be wanting to play Chicago this year. I would not want to be playing them later on.
The Panthers, though, man, it's 2 or 3 years away. I'm thinking I may be wrong. I might be wrong. I want to be wrong, but
I do too. I hope Bryce Young makes me look like an idiot. I
yeah,
really
me
do.
too. I'm hoping I have to eat every word I said.
Yeah.
You know, but we gonna. I wonder what happened today with the meeting and all that.
Yeah, did they get
I haven't
approved?
heard, but NBC reported earlier that that the Chicago was going to put up the money, or not Chicago, but Charlotte was going to put up the money. But that was before the meeting. So what that means?
Okay. They probably said they're gonna do it.
Yet.
Yeah, I can't say they have to, Andrew, or whatever, but you got an NFL franchise, and right now it's just printing money. So for the next, and I don't see it going nowhere for the next 10 years. The lack for the NFL, or the love for the NFL right now, I just see it getting bigger and bigger, because like I said, they already talking about going international and things like that. So they do that, the sport's going to even get.
Yeah, I agree.
You got all these people.
And Kendall, you're right, because whenever a new team is going to be created, it's going to not be here in the States. It's going to be overseas.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're. I think they're. That doesn't mean that Tepper may not move to London. I don't know, but
that's too much, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody's.
Well, no, I think
the flights. Like, you're talking. Oh, Andrew, when you're talking overseas, are you talking like Germany or London, or are you talking like Mexico City?
Well, no, I'm talking about London. I'm talking about London because they've played more games in London than they have Mexico City, and
yeah, but the common theme with the London game is every team usually tends to have a bye when they go.
That's what I'm saying. If it's a 17-game season, there's going to be plenty of buys available to do it. But
that's the new thing they're talking about, making it 20 weeks and they get 2 buys. They were talking about that.
The players, that's too much for the human body, man. The players not going to.
No, but they would get 2 bye weeks. It would be a 20-week season, but 18 games.
But that's too much, though, man.
Now.
That's too much on the body, man.
It's too much. Leo, they playing 17 now with one more game with an extra bye.
Jadeveon Clowney said it himself. He said, well, they just got to come up on that guaranteed money. That's the way a lot of guys look at it.
Exactly.
But they're going to go bankrupt because they're going to have a lot of players with injuries, man. That's not
Leo.
That's not intelligent to do that.
Let me chime in. So,
this
Leo,
is what I
think is
going to happen, Leo.
Literally
and I talked about this, Leo. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I talked about this a year ago. They're going to expand the roster when they do this. They're going to expand the roster
what I was about to say. Yep.
So that there are more players available when they do this overseas trip. There are more rested players. I think they're going to do that, Leo. I think they will. They'll expand the roster.
Yeah,
But like
it'll
far as
probably go
the
from
20
50.
game season,
No,
No,
Leo,
Yeah,
as far
Leo,
as the
no,
amount of
Leo,
players
you're
you can
getting it.
carry on your roster, right
it'll
now it's
probably
a
go from
Guys,
53-man
53. It'll
roster.
probably go to
guys,
63.
it's not playing 20 games. It's a 20-week season, but they're playing 18 games. They're playing 17 now, and yet they're talking about adding one more game, but it would mean one more bye. So now you get a bye week 6
oh,
and week
2 buys.
14. Yeah, now you're getting a bye week 7 and week 11 type shit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
okay,
it's one
pardon. I
more
thought you
game.
said okay.
And that's
They,
and then see that's gonna
yeah,
factor in your travel time, Leo. You
they
see what
want
I'm
to
saying?
grow the sport,
Travel
you
time
guys.
back and forth.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
obvious. Why would they play these
you got to
games?
do it.
What's the point of going to Europe or to Mexico to play these games unless there's a kickback for it?
But the
They're-
fan base overseas, I mean, it's transient though. I mean, they're gonna form a team. They're gonna take they're gonna get a new team, or they're gonna take a
Leo,
current team move over there.
Leo, have you seen the
They're gonna take
people
the current
that
teams
show up at
because
the rugby games in Europe or the soccer games? There's a thirst over there for competitive sport. They sell. Listen, Leo, when they play a game in London, it sells out in the first 24 hours. The
yeah.
game sells out in the first 24
But that,
hours.
but to me, that's because of artificial scarcity. I mean, not artificial. I mean scarcity. Like they don't have regular games like that, so
That's what
they're
I'm
going to
saying.
sell out. That's in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
So
that means there's market for
there's
more
a market
sport
for it. Yeah.
But
for
the
more
thing about
sports.
it is, and the logistics, like I said, I think the flight is too long. I think it's just too much. I hear what you're saying about the buys,
Yeah.
but that's a
That's too
lot
much.
though,
Man, I
man. But
think
I
getting
hear
off
you
the
though.
That's
boat
too
We'll
and all
see.
much,
that,
We'll
bro.
see.
that's a lot, man.
That's a
But
lot.
not
It's
only that,
ten.
Too
but
It's
much.
it's a
You're
minimum
talking
of
about a team flying there every week,
it's a
bro,
minimum of
or
yeah. It's a
9 times a
minimum of
year.
like 8 hours to go over the
That's too
Atlantic Ocean.
much.
It's a
you
minimum
got
of 8 hours.
you
The
got
flight
you got
is
to think
is 10 hours.
17-hour flight compared
but
to,
who
let's
cares?
say,
Who
going
cares
West
when
Coast
you
to East Coast. You're talking about maybe 5.5, 6 hours. So you're
Yeah,
going to be on the plane for 10 more hours,
that's what I'm
but you're going to
saying.
get
That
an extra week off. You're going to get an extra week off. So really,
yeah.
how much are they really asking for that much?
I
But
mean
them guys
this
doing
is a
that weekly.
$1 trillion
we'll see though. I
country.
mean, we'll see.
But hold on, a flight from New York, let's say, right to Cali direct. That's like what, 5 hours?
Yeah,
Like
that's a
if that,
minimum of 5 hours.
5.5 hours. So you're talking
Yeah,
about probably double that, and you're
yeah.
in the time zone. The
From New
time
York
zone
to
difference
And
way
the time
worse.
difference is
Yeah,
different.
and then the body, what it does to the body with the time zone, like it's too much on them, dude. It's way too
that's a
much.
lot.
But
I
Nick,
mean,
It's
we'll
a
see.
lot.
they could schedule that, Nick. They could schedule that. Let's say you're the team in London, right? They could schedule that every road trip has a bye week behind it. Okay, so what you're getting is you're getting these guys. Let's say they're playing for London. They have to go to, say, Kansas City. They have to go to Arizona, and they got a bye week following every game. So really, how much wear and tear is there on them?
No, I mean it would be real tricky, right? With that, Andrew, it's to me, it's like they would have to do it in waves, like 4 straight home games, 4 straight away games. You know what I mean? And then they get the bye, then they go back home,
Yeah,
four
they'll work it
straight
out.
games,
It's going to
then they
happen,
come
Nick.
back. You know what I
It
mean?
may not happen in the next 2 years, but it's going to happen. That's the only reason they're doing it.
Yeah, like the London team can't play 2 home games, then come to America for a game, then fly back home for a game, then fly back to America for 2, 3 straight road games. It
And
would be
then
so much,
have a
dude. Oh
short week.
God.
Like
Yeah.
imagine if they had like a
Like,
short week or something. Like
yeah.
it's too much.
But this is another thing y'all gotta understand though. If y'all didn't see this coming, I mean, think about all the international players and programs they already got set up across seas, where they're trying to infiltrate them over into the NFL type of style of football. You know, you got F.A. Obata, who's from London. You got so many other players from different parts of the country. So that's what I'm saying. Like this has been something that's been coming and it's going to happen. And it don't really matter to me because these guys are getting paid millions and millions of dollars. I do believe they're going to upgrade the team and add more players. They're going to do it because they've already been talking about
They
it.
have to if they're
So
going to grow the business.
there's ways around it. Trust me, they jet is getting there way faster than the ones you getting on at Spirit.
You know, you look at what the owners are having to pay out in contracts today. It's crazy not to think you need to grow the business to make it more profitable. It's the
But
only way to do it.
you heard the owners talking about putting the cap on the quarterback though,
Yeah, I heard about that. I
because
did
it's
hear
getting
about
out of
that.
control. It's getting out of control. The money is getting out of control.
Well, sure it
You're,
is,
you're
but
not gonna be able to have a good team
they're
if
going to continue the sport because the demand is there. But what the point I'm trying to make is the demand is only going to last so long they've got to find money elsewhere, and if they have to move it overseas, and that's where the money comes from, they're going to do it, Leo.
I hear you. I don't. It could be possible, but it's just too many moving parts. But I hear you. We'll see.
A lot of moving parts.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see about that. If they move the Panthers overseas, oh well.
Now anybody
David
say
Tep.
moving no Panthers, look at your ass.
I
Hey,
mean,
MDJ.
David Tepper's a
So let me
horrible.
ask you this.
David
Let me ask
Tepper's
you
a
this, MDJ.
David Tepper's a horrible owner. Like, to me personally, he's not interested in interested in
Hey,
winning.
Leo, don't worry about it. We got to play this year over there, and after that, Europe's going to say, "Get that shit up and out
Oh
of here."
yeah. They like keep that shit over there in Carolina.
And then we'll be complaining about
Get
It
Robert's
wouldn't.
international games.
I
What
could care
to
less.
me, what would be more realistic would be a Canadian NFL team. That is something I could see happening. Even though I know they have their own separate league, I could definitely see a Canadian NFL team before a London or German team for sure.
Let me ask you a question, MDJ. Do you think the Bryce sexuals are going to give this wide receiver just as much generous time as they're giving Bryce?
Nah, because they already do it with the players we got now. So I don't think so. They do it with the left tackle. They do it with the wide receiver we just drafted last year. So they already ready to throw them boys out. So I don't think so, man. But to me,
that's
all
what
eyes is on him.
I hear how microwavable the league got now, bro. It's like if somebody struggled the first 2 years, they're considered a bust, and it's like move on from them. It's like some guys just take longer to learn, bro, and they take a longer time to adjust.
But the coaches don't have that. The coaches are getting paid. You know, they don't have the luxury of waiting. The owner has the fan base has the luxury of waiting. The owner does, but the coach don't, because his paycheck is predicated on wins and losses.
That's why we can't keep firing these coaches after one damn year, man.
That's what I'm saying.
You
got to give them a chance.
But you don't. No, you don't have to give them a chance, brother, because that's your investment, and your bottom line is dollars and cents. You don't have to give nobody nothing because it's your you own it. Theoretically, you're saying, okay, you should keep getting rid of coaches like that. You should give them a chance, but you see how we didn't get no primetime games. That was predicated on wins and losses. So it's money. I hear you, but it's money.
I mean, it's money based, but if you look at the teams in the NFL that stink, they just fire. They do the same shit we do. They get rid of coaches quick. They get rid of players quick. The Cardinals, they fire their coach almost every fucking year. The Texans,
he been the coach for about 2 years.
The Texans been doing it for the longest. That coach in Arizona, that was his first year last year. They had just fired. What's that boy? Whoever the offensive coordinator is in the Commanders.
Kingsbury.
They just
got rid
him.
of Kingsbury.
Yeah, they paid Kyler Murray and fired the damn coach. Like, I mean, that don't get you nowhere. Like, so if the coach bring in his guy, naturally the next coach is gonna want to do the same thing because his ass on the line. They ain't gonna want to just rock with that same player. So to me, like the better teams in the league have stability at their coaches. You know what I'm saying? They actually let them build a roster. I mean, that's just how it
why
works.
if Bryce don't show up this year, he's gone. You guys, Canales ain't gonna roll with him. Canales ain't gonna roll with him.
No, it's not his guy.
How many times have you heard Canales talk about competing for the position? You think that only applies to everybody but a quarterback? No, he's sending a message out there. Hey, if you don't carry your weight, you're out.
He's been saying it way too much. I have no ties to any of these players. He's been saying it over and over, and I know that's what he's referring to.
Yeah,
I know it is. Yeah.
That's good, but it's all predicated on a quarterback. Like the Jets quarterback, the Jets coach might lose his job this year if Aaron Rodgers don't pan out, and the Jets got a good defense.
Coach. Yeah, damn good coach too.
But he might lose because it's all about getting lucky. Like it's nothing involved. It's just pure luck. You know, it's pure luck. C.J. Stroud fell to the Texans because we didn't draft him. They probably would have drafted Bryce Young and suffered the same fate we did. So it's just flip the coin. You get fucking lucky. If you win out, you get a good quarterback. If you don't, keep trying till you get one.
I mean, I'm with you, but if it was all luck, man, the same teams wouldn't draft well every fucking year. So it's
Nah,
more
because
to it
bro,
than
brother,
luck.
they got a quarterback. They got a quarterback to win. The teams that keep drafting early, they don't have a quarterback.
That's not Pittsburgh. Don't never had no quarterback. They keep winning. So
How
the
Pittsburgh?
Cleveland don't never had no quarterback. Recently, they ain't been
When
winning.
did what championship? What playoff game Pittsburgh won recently within the last 10
I
years?
mean, they ain't had no losing season, and I don't know how long.
Nah, bro. We talking about winning, like being in the
You
playoffs,
talking
going
about
to the
winning
Super Bowl.
A Super
No,
Bowl,
all
Leo?
these going to the playoffs or having a winning record, like winning.
That's
Like
what I was
Dallas
just
keeps
saying. The
winning.
Steelers,
They
Dallas, the same thing. They draft
but
well. That's the team to
Dallas
draft
got
well.
a good quarterback. Dak is a good quarterback.
Man, Leo, but it's more to it. The team draft well. Every team you just named, they draft well. Dallas
It's
draft well. Pittsburgh draft well.
Dallas winning because they got a good quarterback.
Okay,
If
who
Dallas
else? Who
can have
else,
the
Leo?
best defense in the world, but if they ain't got Dak, they ain't doing
Okay.
nothing.
Okay,
Yeah.
who else? You gonna tell me the Chiefs? They draft well. Give me any other
The
team, and
Chiefs
I
got
guarantee you they
fucking
draft
Patrick
well.
Mahomes.
But there's more to it. They draft
Uh-uh.
well. They drafted Patrick Mahomes. They drafted Dak Prescott. They draft well, Leo. You
The
just
Rams
giving
draft
great
well.
body shit, but they
The
draft
Rams
well.
The
draft well.
Chiefs,
And they're in the
the
playoff
Chiefs,
on the
man, the
year.
Chiefs. When you talk about drafting, dude, the Chiefs have drafted so many great positions in the last
That's
5 years, dude. Like
that's what I'm
Creed
saying.
Humphrey. Creed Humphrey's considered the best center in the league now. Kansas City draft. Nick Bolton is one of the best up-and-coming Mike linebackers in the league. Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie, L'Jarius Sneed, Patrick Mahomes, Rasheed Rice. Like, man, they hit on all types of positions, bro. Isaiah Pacheco, like, bro, they draft well at every level of football, bro. Like,
And
that's
that's what
why
I'm
they
telling
remain
Leo. It's
so
like
relevant.
if it won't Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid will go draft another quarterback that will beat
Yeah,
him.
and Nick,
His history showed it.
Nick, the Rams lost Aaron Donald, and they got Jared Verse and
And
Braden
Braden
Fisk.
Fisk. Look at that.
Yeah.
How smart. Like what a smart organization.
Yeah.
Smart
That's what I'm saying.
organization. You just lost an all-timer and one of the greatest defensive players ever. So what do? You try and rebuild it with not one but two cornerstone pieces.
Yep.
Now, am I wrong? There's no
strictly
luck. No
talking
luck
about
is
the
involved in it.
quarterback
No luck is
position.
involved
I'm
in it.
strictly talking about the quarterback position. I'm not talking about any other position in the NFL. I'm talking about the quarterback position. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, Patrick Mahomes just literally he changed everything.
They took a chance on him. Patrick Mahomes had a losing record in school. His last year, he had a
Andy Reid
losing
ain't never
record.
had a
New
bad quarterback.
quarterbacks now.
He ain't never had a bad quarterback, though, Leo. Andy Reid has never had a bad quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes had a
That's not
losing
luck.
record when he was in college. Last year, he had a losing record.
Okay,
They
but
took a
he's the player
chance on
coming to the
him.
league.
No,
Andy
that was
Reid has
something
never had a
when
bad
I
quarterback.
watched him at Texas Tech. Yeah, but Texas Tech always had a reputation of having high power offenses and crappy defenses. When you saw Patrick Mahomes in college, you knew if this kid got into
So
the
why
right
he didn't get
system,
drafted number one? Then why Mitch Trubisky got drafted before he did?
well,
Because
teams
Andy
make
Reid
mistakes.
drafts well
Teams
and
make
had an eye for
teams
him.
make
Andy Reid
mistakes. I mean,
drafts
look at
well.
us. Look at us. We made a
No,
mistake.
it
We
wasn't
drafted
Andy
Bryce
Reid that
instead of
drafted him. It was
CJ.
John Dorsey.
Things like that happen.
John Dorsey went out on a limb and drafted him.
They went out on a limb and drafted this dude. They took a chance. Deshaun Watson got drafted before Patrick Mahomes. Like I say, my man from Carolina got drafted for him. He got drafted at 10, I think. It wasn't.
He was like number 9, 10,
That's what
somewhere
I'm
around there.
saying. They rolled the dice on that dude. I mean, he panned out, but they took a chance. When you take a chance, what's your risk? Is this truly based on? It's luck. It's luck. It's all luck.
If you could say that, but if all their first round picks keep panning out, that
Brother,
ain't
I
luck,
said
man.
quarterback, brother. I said quarterback. I didn't say nobody else position. I said quarterback. I didn't say no other position.
Okay. But once again, if Patrick Mahomes wanted the quarterback on the Chiefs, Andy Reid would have a good quarterback. You can't deny that. But okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, they lucked up, got the guy, the best, but Andy Reid has always had a good quarterback. They would have picked somebody.
We gonna see.
It's a roll of the dice with the quarterback. It really is. It's the only position I can think of where, it's a hit or miss. You can get by with a defensive end that is just mediocre and he plays, consistent football. But if you want to really show out, you've got to hit you got to hit the lotto on the quarterback. You got to make sure that your number pops up, because there's been too many quarterbacks that have missed in the NFL.
So many.
Who would have thought that an undrafted quarterback like a Brock Purdy would turn out the way he did? Okay, nobody thought that. I didn't. I never thought an undrafted quarterback would show up like he has.
But it goes to show how important coaching and schemes and offenses and weapons around you matter. Because I'm going to say this about Brock Purdy.
Does it, Nick?
If you take
does
Brock,
it? Does it,
absolutely,
Nick?
absolutely.
Does it? Or does that
Absolutely.
separation? Or does that separation chart that Q showed you make a difference on who's throwing you the football?
Brock Purdy,
You're right.
Brock Purdy is
You're
one of
right,
the
but
best layers of the football. Brock Purdy layers the ball. His layer throws are up there with the best in the league. He is up
How
there.
come some of the best weapons in the NFL, Nick, have a 2.2 separation, but TMJ gets a 2.8? How do you figure that?
Okay,
How do you reckon? You know why? Because
Okay.
we got Brock Purdy throwing to the 2.2.
Got you.
That's the
Now,
difference.
no, but you're also looking at it. San Fran, they run. If you look at their scheme,
No, I
bro,
don't wanna hear
Debo, they get the ball out quick to Debo Samuel more times than not, right? Brandon Ayuk, we just saw a guy who averaged 3 yards in separation.
Too much.
He's an elite route runner.
Listen,
Brandon Ayuk is not an elite route runner. Not at all.
He is. He's one of the best route runners in the league, bro.
To the same point, Kyle Shanahan always got a good quarterback. It ain't luck.
Nick? What made
the quarterback.
Nick, what made Noah and Tank Dell weapons? What made them weapons?
You mean Nico?
Yeah,
Nico
or
Collins?
Nico.
Well, Nico Collins always had talent.
No, he wasn't. Nico was
Nico
not.
Collins always had talent, bro.
No, we talking about his production was really bad the year before the CJ came.
He was just he was a DJ Chark.
But
what made him what's the difference? The difference is he's got CJ Stroud throwing him the football.
Of course, that's a franchise quarterback. Franchise quarterbacks elevate the players around them.
So Nick, so why that can't be the case with my man in San Francisco?
Because Brock Purdy has
Leo. That's the point I'm trying to make.
What do you mean?
Because
He has
Jimmy
the best
G
running
the
back.
same.
Hold on, he has the best running back in the league. He has one of the best tight ends in the league. He has probably
How
the
did
best
that work out for
tackle
Tennessee?
Hold on,
How did that
Andrew.
work out for Tennessee when the quarterback for the Titans had that running back all those years? How'd that work out? When Ryan Tannehill had
Derrick Henry, you
right
can't
now.
compare
How'd
the
that
dynamic.
work out?
Okay, Andrew,
They
can you
had
let me
nothing
talk
else
now,
to
bro? Can you let me talk now? All right? You're talking about Derrick Henry, who's a one-dimensional running back. Christian McCaffrey is a multi-dimensional running back.
No,
he can run and he can catch out the backfield. Derrick Henry don't catch passes like that. You can't motion Derrick Henry outside. Debo Samuel is a Swiss Army knife.
Don't go there, Nick.
Nick, Christian McCaffrey is not a better running back than Derrick Henry, Nick.
Yes, he is. What, are y'all shitting me right now? Really?
When Nick, when Tennessee played the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, it was solely because of Derrick Henry getting them there. They couldn't win because they didn't have a quarterback play. It was solely dependent on Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry is a one-trick pony. You just turn around the ball and hand it off to him. He's just going to bowl people over. Wow, yeah, great. He's great at that.
Can we all agree on one thing, though?
Christian McCaffrey, yep.
Can we all agree on one thing? Christian McCaffrey was the best running back in the league last year. Can we all agree on that?
You were talking about a guy who's won offensive player of the year twice now?
It's not even disputable.
All right.
It's not
Brock Purdy is very talented.
Can y'all name me another player besides Christian McCaffrey ever to win offensive player of the year on two different teams?
He's a phenomenal player. I mean, I ain't saying nothing against him.
He's did that in 7 years in the league already?
Brock Purdy is a phenomenal quarterback. Brock Purdy
gave him up though. Shout out to Panthers.
And because he stayed fucking hurt. What you mean?
He got hurt 1 or 2 years. So what? Look,
he was hurt 3 years back to back. Nick, he was hurt 3 years in a row.
Because Carolina they wanted
last year before we traded him, Leo, he was not hurt.
That's what I'm saying. Microwave league.
This boy got a scratch on his leg, and they held him out of practice.
3 years. He got hurt 1 year. Now he's
the real reason why they traded him because they wanted him to cut his pay. Where they wanted him to and he didn't want to do that shit. He's like, hell no, y'all said y'all gonna pay me $100 million. I want
As
my
he
$100
should.
million. So they
Hell
said,
yeah.
okay, what we're gonna move
Right,
you.
right.
It wasn't
Right.
because he was injured, because if that man stumped his toe on the side of his bed, he was not practicing.
there was nothing wrong with that trade. That was a good trade, actually. The time they made that trade, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was the right time. Christian had a good career in Carolina. It was time to move on. But the point that I'm trying to express is that you don't know what you're going to get in a quarterback until they get out there and play, no matter where you draft them from. Okay? And I think history tells us that. Go back and look at some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL came in the later rounds, including the GOAT. He came in, what was he, the 110th pick in the draft? So, it doesn't matter where you're drafted in the quarterback. It's got everything to do with you got that it factor, man. And Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy, they all got it.
Well, now that you say it
Brock
factor,
Purdy. You just put
let me.
Brock Purdy and Patrick
Brock Purdy
Mahomes.
ain't
That's
good,
just
man.
disgusting.
We did because they played in the Super Bowl together. We did, and Brock had.
God.
If it were not for the busted play that Mahomes ran down the field,
If
San Francisco could have possibly won the Super Bowl.
That's a fact, Leo.
if Jimmy
Yeah,
Garoppolo
because
was
they're
the
the best
quarterback, they'd
team.
have
They
went
have
to
the
the
best
fucking Super
all
Bowl.
around talent in the league.
Patrick,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Hey,
Don't worry
listen,
about
Nick,
it.
Exactly. Jimmy
Nick,
Garoppolo got there too, bro.
Listen,
They
Nick,
would have went to the Super
Nick,
Bowl.
you know I
Right.
respect you, Nick. You know I respect you. You're one of my best guys on here. But for you to sit here and talk all your shit about the great Bryce Young and compare him to a Brock Purdy
Stop it. Come on.
is an insult, dude.
No.
It's an insult.
No,
Don't
I
even
never
go there.
put. Hold on, Andrew.
Don't even
Please,
go there.
please, Andrew. I never put the word great and Bryce Young ever in the same sentence ever. I put average.
Listen, Nick.
Average at best.
I'm on every podcast, dude. I hear all you tout about. He needs this. He needs that. If he had this, if he had that. He's not the it factor. He's the if factor. IF.
But he's
Absolutely.
saying the same thing about Brock Purdy though. He's literally saying the same thing. He need all that shit around him to be what the fuck he is. He's saying the same thing.
Well,
Exactly.
speaking of it factors, Q, does Mingo got a it factor? Does he have anything that's?
It's so
That's
hard to
been-
judge someone off their rookie year.
Hold
We
on,
don't
Nick.
know.
I asked Q.
Well, they saying right now his separation skills is 2.8, which is around league average from what we have been seeing from that list early. So I haven't thrown away Mingo. I think he can run better routes, but I think he has room to grow. That's my honest opinion about him. I'm not throwing the bitch away after 1 year.
Yeah. Let's put it this way, Q. Jonathan Mingo, what would he look like with a better quarterback throwing the football? What would he look like? We don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll find out this year. Maybe Bryce will turn it around and Mingo's numbers will start to show up. But if you're basing our receivers' success on the ability to catch a pass from Bryce Young, all you got to do is look at that fucking chart you showed up today. It tells a different story, doesn't it? Not only that, I've heard all I'm going to hear on this offensive line. Bryce Young was in the top 10 for time in the pocket all year. His time in the pocket was in the top 10 in the NFL. If you don't believe me, look it up. Okay? And so
that's a major takeaway,
people
Andrew.
calling in, Q,
Mhm.
that are trying to find every reason to blame everybody else for the quarterback play last year. Don't wash with me, brother.
Look, the numbers are what they are. We can't change them. Like I know a lot of people are saying, well, if one player plays more or less, then their numbers are going to be higher. Well, you got to look at also quarterback play determines how fast that gap closes on those numbers as well. I hope you guys understand that. Unfortunately, our guys have around the same separation as the league, and that's the takeaway that I wanted to highlight today in putting these numbers out here. These guys are getting about as much separation as anyone else. So when they said that was the number one steal, the number one takeaway from last year was they didn't get separation, that's untrue. The next gen stats right here prove that they were getting separation with the league's best.
They bounced Hayden Hurst out of here like nothing you've seen. Yet his was 3.4. 3.4.
Yeah.
Okay, and it bounces out. You listen, Q. Watch the separation. Watch the receiving yards this year from Hayden Hurst and DJ Chark with Justin Herbert as their quarterback.
Oh,
You watch,
it's going to be different. It's definitely going to be on another level. I already know that.
and it's going to stick out at you, and there'll be no denying it.
So
Well, we
let
going to
me ask you
see.
this too.
Mm-hmm.
I know you probably can see the roster, and this is just an early prediction. Right now, as you see, what number is Mingo on the depth chart?
Let me pull it up. Mango is like number 4 or 5, I believe. But let me get a good look.
He should be number 3 or 4, I think.
Nah, they done put a lot of people in front of
Because
him.
they probably got Excel over him, Xavier Legette.
Yeah,
So
they got
that
Xavier
would
Legette over him.
automatically make him 4
I don't know
if
how
they
they
did that.
get what he be playing in game 1.
Let's take a look.
Oh, he definitely playing. You can bet that.
All right, so you got Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, Xavier Legette. Mango is number 4. Terrence Marshall Jr. is number 5.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. So,
Yeah, I got no
Pop,
problem with that.
did they?
And I think we're looking pretty good. You know, and don't forget, we got a guy that sitting there at tight end who could light the league up. Jatavian Sanders, he's going to be a good
Mm-hmm.
one.
Oh, hold on, Andrew. How is he gonna light the league up if we got Bryce Young as quarterback? That's contradicting what you
Well,
said
no,
about
what I'm
Mingo.
saying is he's got the talent. He's got the talent that is
The
needed
potential. Yeah.
at the tight end position. He's got all the tools. Now, whether or not the
I
quarterback
agree on that
gets the
part.
ball, that's another story, you guys. I can't go there.
Man, who the
I
hell
can't
said
go
that
there
shit,
based on
man?
what I've seen.
He said CMC not better than D'Angelo Williams. Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Here we go. This cat had
Get
1,000 and 1,000,
Get the
and
fuck out
D'Angelo
of here, man.
Williams never even. Okay.
You guys realize that CMC rushed for 1,600 yards last year. You do realize that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
The
not
cat
not
is
1,200,
phenomenal.
not 1,300, but fucking 1,600 fucking yards on the ground.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's sharing the backfield. That's sharing the backfield. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal year, dude. I mean, but we're not surprised. We all know what he was when he went over there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Well,
an interesting year for sure. And I'm pulling for Mingo. I hope he
I am
really
too.
took. I hope he took this offseason serious, just like anybody else who had a bad season last year. I hope they really tapped in, knowing that hey, this is the not for long league. If you don't get right, you get gone. I hate to lose talent and have them go somewhere else to be prosperous. So
Well,
you know what I'm saying. If y'all gonna give Bryce Young grace, which I'm not, got to give Mingo grace too as well.
I'm going to give Bryce
That's
Young.
what I be saying.
I'm
Keep
going to
the
give
same
Bryce Young grace. As much as I criticize that kid, I'm going to give him grace based upon the fact that he looked really nervous last year and he was a rookie. So I'm thinking, okay, let's give him one more chance. But as far as Mingo goes, I've seen enough film to know that Jonathan Mingo was not the problem last year as far as receiving. It was getting him the ball. Okay, the guy got open a lot. He's fat. He saw what he could do with the ball, and I can forget that game when he turned up field and ran for an extra 20, 30 yards. We know what he can do, but this is it. This is the final year. They're not going to go into year 3 with Bryce Young if he don't show out this year. And I'm not talking about 6 or 7 wins. That's not showing
Absolutely.
out. Okay, he's got to win 10 games. He's got to win 10 games and be in competition, because I guarantee you Baker Mayfield is going to be better with Tampa this year than he was last year. And I guarantee you Atlanta's going to be better and Derek Carr is going to be better. So we've got to win 10 games if we're going to win this division.
I was talking to Q earlier, and my comp for Mingo for this year, I need him to step his game up to be at least a Jericho Crotchery. Just give me Jericho Crotchery, bro. Missed the third down, efficient hands, somebody dependable. And then
Yep.
next year I have a different comp. If he can show me that, I'll be happy.
We've got a sure-handed receiver who finally will play his role. He's not a number one receiver. We all know when they went and got Adam Thielen, it wasn't to get a number one receiver. We know that. Adam Thielen had one drop all year. One. Okay? So we got a sure-handed receiver. He's a third down receiver. And he showed out last year when we were sucking. He was the one making all the third down catches. We get it. We get an Xavier Legette and a Deontay Johnson who can get some separation and get down the field. It's up to our quarterback to find them. And that's only going to make the guys like Sanders and Adam Thielen more valuable because they'll be the check down guys. They're going to be the guys that are going to be, throwing the ball on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 when we need that first down. So I think we're in really good shape, man. We really are to have a good year, but we just need good quarterback play, and we're there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. This has been a wonderful conversation today. We appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming in here today. We're not gonna prolong it. Look, I enjoyed this so much. We were supposed to talk about Ike Aquanu and a lot of different other stuff. We're gonna save that for another day. Andrew, go ahead and give us your last words, brother.
My last word is if Bryce Young can show us anything that he showed in college, that we're going to be in a competitive football team. I believe that I watched Canales last year every game because I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. You guys know that. I watched him in college. I went to Texas Tech to see him play. Okay. I know what this guy can do, and he can turn this defense around or this offense around, but you've got to have the tools to make it work. And if Bryce can show up, we're going to be competitive all year. And that's my final word. It's going to take a quarterback to lead this team. And you heard Jatavian Clowney say it in the one of the interviews. He said he needs Bryce to show he can lead. And if he can do that, those guys will follow him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Big facts. Big facts.
What's going on with you, Jalen? We're getting last words. Go ahead and give us your last words, brother.
My last word would be, I hope Mingo step up, but but the main problem though, that on what it showed me was Bryce, man. He was the problem. So that was my last word. I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm over it.
Before I move on to the next person, shout out to young Jalen for putting this in the Discord. It was so good that we all said we had to do a show on this. So shout out to you for bringing this to awareness for us to see about how vital and important the separation we already had on this team was. We appreciate you for doing your homework, Jalen.
Y'all welcome.
Good stuff, Jalen.
Yes, sir. Poppin', talk to me, brother.
Hey, man, this has just been another great show from the Black Hat Panther podcast. As usual, man, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Man, get in that chat, that Discord. You know what I'm saying? I am going to do a giveaway. I'm going to get with the fellas. And we're gonna give something away to one of these members, man, because I think one of these members deserves something, man. Y'all been rocking out with us at Black Cat at the Dark, and so I think we want to give something away. And we're gonna chop it up with y'all. I'm gonna talk to the fellas about it. Don't straddle the fence because it hurts. Pick a side. Keep pounding.
I'll be damned. MDJ, what's going on?
Damn, man, why I gotta go next, man? I ain't got shit cool to say like popping shit. I ain't got shit for you. I'll catch y'all next time, man. It was a good show. Shout out to Jalen because I was telling that topic fire. It was a fire topic, man. I had a good time. Shout out to everybody that came through on the panel in the chat, man. So y'all be easy. I ain't got too much for it, Q. You already know. I ain't got no last words. These ain't my last words.
Look, do us the favor. If you haven't already, please join our Discord today. The link is right there in the chat right now as you see fit. Also pinned to the top of the chats right now is Carolina Logic's channel. Show our brethren some love. Please go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Let's bring him all the way up. We're trying to get him to 100 as we speak. So do us the favor. Show him that love. Show us that love. Join the Discord. And come on back, man. It's your boy Dub Q, and I'd like to welcome you guys to the Black Cat Panther Podcast.